armor. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to. Well, you did the intro. I have to fix this.
You got to do. Why are we not doing the video thing?
Hey, Farva, what's the name of that restaurant you like with all the goofy shit on the walls and the mozzarella sticks?
Welcome to the Cam Shenanigans podcast.
You mean Shenanigans? Oh! You're talking about Shenanigans, right?
Where Mike, Trent, and Zach, and a guest will debate all things automotive.
Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Make sure to check out Cam Automag on all the social medias at Cam Automag. And don't forget to support our sponsor, Hustle Energy.
Hello, everybody. We're here. We did the video thing, and we're back.
Boy.
I am Mike, and I am sober as a bird. I am joined by Zach and Dave. Not going to comment on their sobriety because I don't know what's going on in their lives. Who knows?
I mean, I'm right there.
All right. And I am watching the 1990 IMSA World Challenge of Tampa.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is like the IMSA GTP cars, the cars that you know and love. The Nissan, the Toyota, the Jag.
Jag.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Jag that at one point in time, I believe it was this season, was running the twin turbo V6 and also still the V12. Just one car on the team was running the V12, the other was running the twin turbo V6.
That is
okay.
interesting. I like that.
Yeah, but this track is terrifying looking. It is flat. It is a lot of straight lines with random chicanes in there.
Well, I mean, it's
like
Tampa. I mean, they probably do this in a neighborhood.
I mean, I'm not sure exactly where the hell this is.
I mean,
it's like an office park, something.
So, like, what else would it be in Florida? If it's not at Sebring, like, it's going to be in, like, a fucking mobile home park. Or
if it's not Sebring, it's not. If it's not Sebring, Daytona, or Miami, it's fucking God. This is one of those, like, it looks like they would be having, like, mud truck drag races next to the track. And
all
the
right,
safety
now
car...
we're over here with the Tallahassee 350.
Oh, man. The safety car is a Z32. I'm surprised it made that formation lap.
It's probably an NA auto.
Gotta be. Although, I mean, if anybody wants to make, like, their Z32 look like the safety car, more power to them. I'm not going to stop you. If anything, I'm going to encourage that bullshit.
You know, I'm a big fan of, like, the pace cars and, like, the lap cars and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of that.
Oh man,
100% there.
Oh my God, just so many bare concrete walls, and one especially after like a long straight into like a 90-degree right. Ooh. Oh my God.
Ooh. Sounds like a car killer.
They are just asking someone to die.
I mean, Florida wall strikes again.
My God in heaven, this is just man.
Your
my God!
Does not reach all the way down to Florida.
Early helmet cam, just as shitty as they are today. Fuck.
Early helmet cam in 1990. That's literally a dude driving around with a Hitachi camcorder duct taped to a helmet.
Just in the pits, just some dude, just some poor PH. All right, John Paul. Boop. Go get him. We'll see you in an hour.
He's got the mini Hi-Fi 8 strapped to his helmet.
We got to bring him in.
He can't turn right or else he hits the cage with the lens.
We got to bring him in. Why? We just brought him in. Now we got to change tape.
We got to change tapes. We only got 15 minutes of runtime.
It was
when the tires and fuel outlast the tape.
God.
I keep telling you, Marty, you gotta buy the extended play tapes.
The quality suffers, Steve.
Well, sorry, I'm going vaguely off topic here, but there was a TikTok.
Was there a topic?
I don't even know. I found a TikTok of Mercedes dual tire change, or I can't remember what year it was, where they brought in both cars in.
Like a double stack tire change in F1.
Yeah, and so there was a TikTok about it, and they're like, why would they do that? Like that makes no sense. Like both your players are now off the track.
Oh,
and I'm
there's a variety of reasons you double stack.
And I'm like, the genius behind this move is insurmountable. It's and they're like, well, like, what if the pit crew was too slow? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Hamilton came in second, and I'm pretty sure he would have taken out whoever was currently in the box.
So one, in this race, the two Nissans were leading, and then there was some very Nissan on Nissan crime, which allowed one of the Castrol Jags to come up into second. So that's awesome. But two, last year at the second Bahrain race, they tried to double stack, and they brought out the wrong tires. So like in Formula One, you like each car, not each team, each car is allotted certain tires. Mm-hmm. You know, so like you make your decision at the beginning of the year, like we're going to take this many sets of hards, mediums, softs, whatever. And they went to double stack the cars, and poor George Russell he goes in there. It's a slow stop anyway, but they put on Valtteri Bottas's tires, and that is a problem. If he finished the race, he would have been given a time penalty. So they had to bring him in the next lap. And with Valtteri, since they put Valtteri's tires on George's car, they put Valtteri's old, dead, hard compound tires back on Valtteri's car.
No.
So we had like a 4-second pit stop, which is an eternity in F1.
Oh, yeah.
Just to go back out on garbage tires.
Yikes.
So, but yeah, like the double stack, when it works, it's brilliant. But when it goes wrong, it goes hilariously wrong.
Ouch.
Yup.
Sorry, that was a tangent, but Dave mentioned tires lasting, and that clicked, and I was like, I have to explain to someone who doesn't watch F1 why that was just like, that was the power play.
Oh, yeah, why that's the move. Like
that's big dick energy for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, like it is like you do the double stack because you're trying to like undercut somebody or overcut somebody with both of your cars. You're just you're basically looking down the pit wall and be like, all right, remove Horner. What the fuck are you going to do?
Toto adjusts his glasses.
Just the evil billionaires who run some of these teams, just like looking at each other, stroking cats, I assume. Like I need you people out there to Google Helmut Marko, HELMUTMARKO. He is like the sporting director. Like he's the dude in charge of Red Bull F1. Okay. You need to look at him and tell me he's not a Bond villain.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Right? He is 1,000% a Bond villain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know,
and like he'd have some horrendous accent as well.
It's an Austrian accent. It's not terrible, but, you know. And then you got Lawrence Stroll, billionaire daddy of Jonesy Stroll, Lance Stroll, who, you know, he looks like any blustery, blowhard rich dude, but, you know. Oh, Christian's here. Hi, Christian. Hi, Andrew. And then probably next year you're going to have Nikita Mazepin's dad, the Russian billionaire, buying the team so his son can spin out in a better car.
Have you seen there's a website that is has he spun, or what was last time he spun?
Yeah, like has he spun, and then, yeah, just in the great tradition of has passed or crashed today. Oh, fucking A. Yeah, Andrew, this is a rudderless ship. It's going to turn into whatever it turns into. I mean, there we go. God, I actually read a story on Jalopnik today. It has been ages since I actually read anything on Jalopnik.
Yeah?
But it was... Oh, Christian coming in again on the YouTubes. Hey, buddy.
On the what up, dudes?
What up, dudes?
What up, dude?
What up? No, they had to... Jason Torchinsky, he had to write a story about why Jalopnik covers all these Tesla crashes. And it's just like, yeah, like we're not covering them because we're dicks and we don't like Tesla. It's because Tesla is claiming this thing is autopilot and people are acting like it's a fully like autonomous thing when it is not.
Oh yeah.
And Tesla's not really doing anything to dissuade that. So yeah, it's just like we kind of need to
mean-
talk about this because good hell.
I say there's an ass for every seat.
Exactly.
Well, someone who's had experience in the full, like the beta autopilot and the full autopilot beta and what is consumerly available, and this shit scares me, and I'm still in control of the vehicle.
Yeah, like I mean, our buddy Tommy Woot, he got himself a Model X, and he's popping stuff on the old Instagram there, and it's just like, okay, neat, but a lot of the stuff seems like really gimmicky.
Oh yeah.
One. And then two, like, I mean, it's not a full-on like self-driving thing, but Tesla's out there. Yeah, it's autopilot. They put out a video. It says for legal reasons there has to be a person behind the driver's, in the driver's seat, but they're not doing anything. It's like, no, it isn't.
I know with the autopilot beta, they have been revoking. So I don't know if Dave was around for me when I talk about this. So there's a new, basically full autopilot beta that has been given out to very select members of the public, and anyone who works for Tesla can opt in as well too. Okay. And that shit's insane. It will do door to door. But it's also fucking scary because you'll be driving and all of a sudden it'll be like, okay, cool, that curb is now the road, and it will just yank the wheel, and so you have to be in control.
Yeah.
And so they monitor because if the car starts to get upset, it will tell you, hey, grab the steering wheel more frequently than normal, and people who have been disobeying that have been getting their privileges revoked.
Yeah. Oh man, Christian, my boss's Volvo stops all by itself. He doesn't touch the brake or gas after it stops. Even that causes concern for me. But yeah, it is a very weird thing. And I mean, we are inching our way towards full autonomy. Inching.
Yeah.
Like, my God in heaven, I have a robot vacuum cleaner that I had to reprogram this weekend because it could not figure out the Wi-Fi. It's one of it freaks out if there is something unexpected, an ottoman in the way. And this is a fucking $200 vacuum cleaner. Right. Not like a $90,000 car. The vacuum's just going to annoy me. The car could potentially kill somebody, and tragically it has.
Yeah.
So,
I will admit that Tesla has done this, or Will's Tesla specifically has done some crazy things for us that were like, it's programmed to do that. So it does recognize stop signs, and it will stop for stop signs. It will also inch forward into intersections to watch. It isn't great at knowing who to go first. If two cars are right or another car is the same at the stop sign, it will wait for like 3 or 5 seconds and then say, fuck you, it's my turn now.
So apparently they modeled their AI after every dickhead in Sandy.
Yeah. And then the other one it did, we drove through it. We were driving through a narrow street, and there was a car parked on the street. And the Tesla on the screen will kind of prompt you on what it's doing or what it's thinking, what its actions are, and also its next action. So we come down this kind of like a narrow street, and it goes folding mirrors for clearance. It folded the mirrors to get extra clearance when it drove down the street.
Okay.
Which I was like, fuck, okay. Like,
that's a move.
That's because it makes sense because the car should know exactly how big it is. And also with its ultrasonic sensors, it should know very precisely how close things are going to be getting to it. So, yeah.
Yeah,
God,
I mean,
yeah.
But
advanced shit.
The other one that scares the shit out of us is that it doesn't see dips or speed bumps.
Oh God!
And so you have to be like, when you see one, you have to force the car to stop to do it because it will just full speed through these dips and speed bumps.
Yeah, that seems like a little bit of an issue. Also, it'll stop for a stop sign even if it's on a fucking billboard.
Yeah. Well, because I can't remember if it was Tesla or somebody. There was a story not too long ago about like the Burger King sign where it was confusing.
It was Tesla. It was
Yes.
Tesla. Yeah.
Wait, what?
So the Teslas recognize, the oh my god. The Teslas recognize, God, two of the Camel Light, the little entry level prototype cars in here. One of them skidded to a stop and hit the wall. Another one skidded to a stop right behind it. The one in front backed up the car that ran into it. Oh my god.
Oh,
Man.
we love that.
Man, sports car racing in the 80s and 90s was just fucking dumb, and I love it. No, yeah, so like the Teslas, like they recognize, stop signs, be them actual stop signs or something that looks like a stop sign. So if you put a stop sign on a billboard, I can't remember like where it was, but it was like a like a DUI checkpoint stop sign, like your typical drives over, get pulled over thing, and there was a stop sign on there, and so Teslas would see a stop sign, even though it's like 30 feet in the air, and be like, "Hey, we need to stop." It's like, no, we don't. Yeah. So it's one of those, oh no, the car that got backed up onto is now smoking. Oh, that was a radiator. I'm sorry.
The other thing that Tesla does that the Model 3 does that was I talked about this a little bit on the podcast when it first happened, but I don't think Dave was around. That was super cool is that there's a new UI that shows up for the self-driving automation, and it can determine if the vehicle is facing forward or backwards, and it puts a little dot on the rear of the car so you know which way is forward, which way is back. And like it was picking out cars in like the deep. This was at night as well too. It was picking up cars like back in driveways, like 100 feet off the road with like a tree kind of covering it, and it was getting them right. And it was like, okay, like maybe this isn't as dumb as I thought it was. And then occasionally it'll just be like, there's a trash can right there. It'll just like randomly like throw out trash cans. And also, so it has three models. It has the car model, the trash can model, pedestrian. It has four: pedestrian model, and the cone model. And it will actually display like animated cones when it sees them.
Okay.
Cool. I'll see if I can have Will send me a photo, and I'll post it somewhere.
Yeah,
there should be no shortage of that here in Utah.
So. Oh yeah,
for real. But yeah, man. Oh, it's just these poor guys. They're going out there with just giant ass buckets trying to collect anything that's coming out of this radiator. Oh, so many dad hats going on. But yeah, no, I mean, like Tesla should be given credit because they are doing a lot of very cool, like innovative things. But also, I mean, it's not, you can't call something autopilot because that implies it's fully autonomous.
Yeah.
And then not back away from that at all.
And it's definitely not that. Like
no, and it's one of those like all the fucking Tesla stands out there. They're just like, nah, but it is though, and it's like, no, it really isn't. Like that. No, that's not how this works at all.
No, not at all.
Like, I don't think you fully grasp what that means, Mister. This $60,000 car is the most expensive car that I own.
And it was the first car that I spent more than $20,000 on.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, these are the guys who are always out there just like trying to cop the latest and greatest. But it's just like, yeah, I got that brand new, iPhone 12, but it's the smallest storage one. Like it's the most entry level into like that upper tier.
It's the 256 model when they're offering terabyte models.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, don't judge me. I went with the 128 because I didn't want to spend an extra $200 to get double the storage.
I mean, I get it. I have a 256 11 Pro Max, so
hey.
Actually, no, I think it's a 512. Whatever, it's not the big one.
No. Yeah, like I mean,
Don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, I got the 2020 SE, and it's not the biggest one. It's like the middle. It's the middle one.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. Christian in the chat. Let's see. How do you fix a nation of idiots? Here's a pill to make your dick bigger. You can only take one. Nation of men, take all the pills. That's this problem in a nutshell.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, definitely. Like, man, yeah. So yeah, that's what I did at work today instead of working.
Well, I didn't go to work, but that's a different story.
I mean, if you want to share the story, feel free to.
Well, so I can give a little longer version. So my roommates had like a weird stomach bug. One had one on Thursday or something, and my other one had it while we were camping this weekend. And today I went into work, and I was like, my stomach doesn't feel great. And then I come home. It was fine. It just needed to let out some gas. And so I'm like, well, I'm not going back to work. So
attaboy.
I proceeded to sit here and play Farming Simulator 2019. And the scary part is I called my boss, didn't answer, sent him a text like, hey, stuff's going on. Never got back to me. So I'm a little scared to go to work tomorrow because he's going to be like, I didn't give you permission to leave or some boss bullshit like that. I don't know.
Well, fuck them.
If you don't answer your phone, I'm going to assume it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can talk about my camping trip if you want me to a little bit.
Yeah. We have precious little stuff to talk about. What's up, overtime tweaks?
Word.
So this was my first outing with the Overland build.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I got a bed rack, a rooftop. Shut the fuck up, Dave. Well, actually, hold on. I got a whole story here.
Hold on. Allow me to the quote-unquote overland build. Continue.
There it is. Air quotes.
This isn't getting posted to audio form. It doesn't matter.
No, but I just felt like reiterating. Just
fair enough.
You have a stock Tacoma with a bed rack. And
no, I haven't. I have 31s on my Tacoma. Stock was 29s.
Suck on that, prick. He sure showed us.
Wow.
So I put a custom bed rack on it, a rooftop tent, and rotopacks. And so on Tuesday, was it Tuesday? It was Tuesday. So there's this new store that opened up on River Road, actually really close to where we work, Mike.
Yeah.
Called Expedition Overland.
Okay.
And we went there because I was going to buy this tent on Thursday, but let's see what they got. And 100% shout out to them. Like I know I'm kind of plugging them here, but holy fuck, were they amazing to me. So I'm sitting there being like, I don't know what tent I really want. Like, I don't know, what do you guys offer? And the dude's like, well, I recommend this one. We don't have a showroom model, but let me go open up mine in the downpouring rain and let you look at it.
Okay.
I'm like, cool, thank you. And so you talk me through it, and I end up getting it. And we put another unreasonable purchase on Will's credit card. It's not the
Nice.
first time we put large amounts of money on Will's credit card.
There it is.
Did I mention we bought our bikes on Will's credit card?
You
What
didn't
the
say that.
What, the little Groms or whatever?
We swiped Will's credit card for
I think you told me that. I think this is new information to Christian, Andrew, and Overtime Tweaks, who thinks that there is a third party in this.
We went and looked at the. I went to the store with the bikes. I think it's hilarious. We went and looked at the bikes, and they were like, "Those are pretty good, but like after we want to do them, like I don't have cash on hand right now." And Will's like, "Well, I can't remember what bank he goes to, but he's like, my bank gave me a really bad thing, which was a $10,000 credit card limit."
Wow, that is a bad idea. That is.
And so we're sitting there at Texas Roadhouse, and we're like, we could totally do it. I got my truck right here. We could put both in the back of the truck.
I thought you were going to be like, as we drove by Texas Roadhouse, we could do this. And then you went and balled out at Texas Roadhouse.
10 grand at Texas Roadhouse. All the rolls.
10 grand at Texas Roadhouse is probably not hard to accomplish.
I think 10 grand is a starting fee for a franchise.
There it is. Just got myself a franchise.
It's $1 million to start a McDonald's franchise.
Well, we were going to buy a bike, and said we got a Texas Roadhouse franchise.
Now Will's in the poorhouse because we decided to ball out on like better than average steaks.
Good news, guys. We own a steakhouse. Bad news, guys. It's $37,000 a month.
So will you guys please come and get some prime rib, please?
Will's over here. He's got the back end of this figured out. He's like, man, I'm flying to Cancun for free like 5 times in a row. I don't even give a shit. All the points.
So,
There it is.
So we're sitting there at Texas Roadhouse. We call the place like, hey, will you please stay open an extra 30 minutes? We are on our way. And they're like, shit, we haven't made a sale all month. Fuck yeah, we'll stay open an extra 30 minutes. What do we need?
Nice.
Want us to polish your car? Wow, yeah. And so we get down there and whoop, $5,200 for 2 bikes.
Yikes.
And Will played it smart because he got all the credit card points for it. And I paid him interest too, so he made out pretty on the back end.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you
sounds
go.
like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to the story. Will helped buy the tent because it wasn't ready to do it all at the same time. I put it on my truck and I went camping. But the cool part was we found a rally stage.
Perfect.
Oh?
So there's this canyon that we refer to as Dead Dog Canyon because there is a giant rock pile and above it with a dog's name written in charcoal.
Aw.
So we're pretty sure that somebody buried their dog there, which is really nice actually.
Yeah.
But we call it Dead Dog Canyon, hence the dead dog.
I feel
But,
like that's how most trails are named.
Yeah.
Hey,
Fido
that
died.
pine tree's leaning to the left. Left pine tree.
Yeah, left pine tree.
Yeah, it's left pine trail. Yeah, yeah. Leaning pine trailhead. There we go.
There it is.
So we and this canyon has a riverbed on it, and it's a pretty good trail too. So we're not going off trail by any means, but it's really smooth. And there's a couple jumps on it, and a couple berms you can go over. And there's a mud section. There's a little bit of a gravel section, and there's a sand section.
And there's you and your busted ass Toyota just
My
bouncing
Toyota
off the rev limiter.
and a '96 Chevy Suburban.
I mean,
Perfect for
shouldn't we be
off-road rally
specific?
excitement.
Isn't this a GMC Suburban?
Yes, GMC. Thank you.
You gotta, asterisk,
There it
the
is.
GMC's fancy,
It
Yeah.
has rear climate control, or had rear climate control. And so the Suburban does it, and I'm like, that Suburban's getting really far away from me, and I'm hitting this trail pretty fast. Like, I got some higher upper weight. I don't want to roll it, but like that Suburban's really going for it.
And then you realize you left the tent up and it's acting like a fucking air brake.
So I end up riding with him, and so first off, strapping yourself into a Suburban of any kind is like strapping yourself into like a couch.
Yeah, you're like
Like a
buckling
lazy
into the living room.
Yeah. And then we proceed to do things that no Suburban has ever done in its entire life.
that
Cool.
you're aware of.
Yeah.
This was pushing some of the limits. Like we bouldered or we hit a boulder at like 45 miles an hour, and the rocker, the skid plate step rails took all of it, skidded up it, bounced it, and dropped us back down. Then he
Nice.
initiated a slide off of the tail rotation.
Bump drift initiation. I
Oh,
dig
dude.
it.
I'm sitting there like, I'm trying to tell myself, go limp, because when we die or when we crash, a limp body survives and a stiff body doesn't. So I'm screaming in my head, don't tense
Ragdoll,
up,
ragdoll.
And we're hitting some of these corners, and I'm
Now
like,
we know what's going on. Anytime Zach starts getting like real tense or we start driving real fast, he's just gonna.
Is your friend okay? He does that.
he does that. He's trying to protect himself. And like, we're going to hit some of these corners, and like, in my mind, I'm planning the trajectory of the vehicle. I'm planning, okay, with this speed and the slide we're carrying. By the way, we're still sliding all of this. We're going to land over on that hill somewhere, rolled several times. And then we'll come off the bump sideways, land, still sliding, catch it, and power back into it. And we're still on the trail. I'm sitting there like, how the fuck is this Suburban doing this? It was amazing.
It is the magic of the Burbo.
And then, of course, we get back to camp, and there's a very severe sidewall leak.
I mean, that does happen.
You don't say.
And do you know what the
Don't say.
you know what the trail fix is for a sidewall leak?
Duct tape.
Tire plug on the sidewall.
Atta boy.
I've done that too.
I bet it's still on the car. It's not to the window. I can't see it, but I bet it's still on the car.
You're like, wait a second, let me look outside, see if I can check it.
He normally parks right here, but I can't see him.
Meh,
But yeah,
whatever.
it was an experience.
Nice.
I wish Will could have been here because Will also rode in the Suburban, and he exclaimed, "That is the craziest shit I've ever done in a car."
Nice. Oh my god. There are no pit lane speed limits, and there is like nothing between like one of the Nissans just shot out of its fucking pit box and just put bus lengths on the other one.
Damn.
Just fucking wild.
Uzi Pie.
Yeah, we know who that is.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, we know who that is. Our problematic Vietnamese friend.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Problematic Vietnamese friend.
Oh man, you should have seen the Discord. What we was posting in there when we were playing Halo, because last week on Twitch Thursday we were coming up. We needed some Full Metal Jacket quotes to yell as we killed things, and then Kit found some memes that were definitely going to get us demonetized.
Oh man.
So he just popped them in the Discord chat, and my God in heaven. There's a safety car out for some reason that I can't quite possibly fathom. I don't know why. I mean, there were several things it could have been there for, but whatever. Holy shit, that is a big-ass tree. No, to answer Overtime Tweak's question, I believe we've answered this several times before, but, he probably wasn't. Oh my God. They just showed the in-car of the one Nissan just fucking gunning it.
Just
and
giving her
holy
the shit.
Holy shit. He almost assholes the other Nissan. Because I don't think Nissan A had any idea that Nissan B was going to be doing that. And oh boy. Oh, that 83 GMC tow truck is having a struggle towing that race car off. Almost left it stranded in the middle of the track.
I can just picture the 80s, the guy with like the porn star mustache with the big headphones on, trying to talk to both drivers on one walkie-talkie.
Dude, this is fucking sports car racing was wild. Like, there are so many cars just fucking breaking down. Everybody's like, well, why do we go back to that stuff? Well, because shit like this is going to happen. Cars are going to break down constantly. And two, people are going to spend themselves out of competition. That's how it works. That's what happened with all the fun things. But to answer Overtime Tweak's questions, he says, random question. Can you ask them what their favorite car is, their dream car?
They are them. We are
I'm
us.
not sure he fully grasps that I am part of this, that I can be seen and also heard. But whatever. Favorite car, the 1990 Z32 safety car. Also my dream car.
Nice.
Yep.
Zach?
The Countach safety car for F1.
Damn. That's a move.
So I'm going to put some lights on the roof of a Lancia Stratos and call it a safety car.
it would fly.
I mean, I can almost guarantee you it was probably a safety car at some Italian F1 race.
I mean, it was probably a safety car at an Italian drive-thru.
When you have to send out the recovery vehicle for the safety car. Man.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'd like to change my answer to the 1983 Chevrolet Chevette.
There we go. There it is.
Nice.
Put some lights on that. Call that a safety car. The ultimate lemon safety car.
Yeah. Excuse me, have you heard of our Lord and Savior, the Ford Taurus?
Jesus. Oh, man. Speaking of, I'm not sure, Dave, if you saw this, but there's somebody in, I think, the Drift Utah Classified selling like a 1990 R32. I'm assuming it's probably like a GTST.
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't really give much beyond it's a Skyline. It's from 1990, and he has an extra front bumper and a front mount intercooler to go with it.
Sick.
13 grand. Rust clearly visible on the rear and on the trunk. Just looks like hammered dog shit.
The tax, man. The
Fuck.
tax.
Well, it's one of those like me, pizza, parental figure, quote unquote. And Chirp, we're talking about this on Twitter. Like, Brandon is very. I don't think he's wrong about this, but just like the enthusiast car market has been kind of ruined by like Bring a Trailer and some other things, because it's like the market. I mean, like 996s are going up at a fucking ridiculous ass rate. Back when that was like the cheap 911, any flavor of 996 was the cheap 911 you could get your fucking hands on.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, I'm starting to notice they're coming for like the more pedestrian but fun cars.
Yeah, pretty much anything that has a potential cult following.
Yeah, like anything that like people are trying to get on the next bet on the next thing, trying to catch that next wave. And it's just like, God damn it. I want something cheap and also fun.
Well, I feel also like the whole Radwood thing kind of really
he called out
on that too.
He called out Radwood too. And it's just like, it makes sense. Because I mean, how many like you remember when like the E36 M3 was something that was widely derided, and a lot of people would be like, why did you get the E36 M3?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And now you can't catch an E36 M3.
You can't. Not
for
without
like
major damage.
Yeah, I mean it's like 10 grand for a hunk of shit.
Yeah.
And it's
something
like, but
like the rear trailing arm bushings have like ripped out of the fucking subframe, or the strut tower's cracked or something.
Yeah.
And I still want 12 grand for the car.
Yeah, and it's just like, but why though? This was the inferior M3.
Right. It was a US market 328 with a fancy head.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that fancy. Let's be real. It had a nice valve cover on it.
Yeah, like it was the one you wanted was the European one, but we didn't get that.
It came with 5 more throttles and an extra gear.
Yeah, it's fucking sweet, but here we are. Yeah, just so many cars have just like gone up in value for no real reason other than they existed during a time.
Yeah, automatic C4 Corvettes are a perfect example of this. Automatic C4 convertible Corvettes.
Oh, God.
Drop-top autos have soared in price for some.
I should have kept my Mustang.
You should have. You should have.
I should have kept that Mustang.
I should have kept. I should have kept Ronda. Because
I mean, yeah.
Fucking A. Just those things are going up now, man. Just remember, I got that thing running and driving $2,800, and now it's just like running and driving needs work. NA cars are like $3 grand.
Exactly. I remember when we went down there to look at that, and you had me drive it because you were like, I'm still new to this whole third pedal thing.
Well, it wasn't. It wasn't. I'm new to this third pedal thing. It's just I had heard things about R154s, and I'm just like, surely Dave has driven one of these before, so he won't like. He will tell me if something feels wrong.
and of course, we made it 500 yards from the guy's neighborhood, and I was doing donuts around that roundabout.
Yeah, we found a roundabout, and we're just like, fuck. Well, dip, tater chip.
Yep. That was Rhonda's first tap dance.
Yep, and then the dude comes out. Was that you guys?
Nah,
was what us?
I don't know what you're talking about. I think we were literally heard some V6 Charger way over there doing some dumb shit.
Yeah, I think we were literally like, was what us?
Was what?
Yeah, I don't.
Wasn't me, officer.
Yeah. Jesus, Christian is apparently drinking a peanut butter milk stout from Belching Beaver Brewery.
Belching Beaver Brewery.
I had a peanut butter sandwich stout in Texas, and it was actually pretty good.
Well, all right then. Good to know.
I'm about 6 seconds away from getting up out of this chair, grabbing a jar of peanut butter and a spoon, and sitting back down.
Attaboy. Ah, shit.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh. So I was reminiscing with Brian, the brutalness.
Oh yes.
Back in the day. I was reminiscing with him earlier today about like the old Utah Hondas meets and the
Oh,
start
God.
of like ISS, you know.
Yeah.
And like, think about it. If you think about the first Utah Hondas meet there was back in 2007 in Sugar House Park,
Yeah.
you know, the one where I'm chasing the Eclipse with the Ghetto Award.
You forgot this.
Yeah, exactly.
Through the rain.
If you count that as the humble beginnings of ISS, next year that show turns 15.
Jesus.
I mean, it. If I remember right, it sprouted out of the Team Technic birthday barbecue.
Yeah, they used to be
So
like the
it's-
Barnes Park things, and then
Yeah.
they did the little the Team Technic meets, and then it started being more Hondas, and then they went
Yeah. And
to
then
the Utah
yeah,
Acuras, Utah Hondas, and yeah, man,
yeah.
good times.
Oh, those were great times.
It's hard
Just-
it's hard to think it was 15 years ago.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, man. It's just like I don't want to think about it, but I kind of have to think about it. But I mean, it sucks that I'm not going to be here for that, so I can't write I can't do the story about the 15th annual Team Technic birthday barbecue out at UMC.
Well, I mean, this like I said, this is for next year's. This is for
Oh,
2022.
next year's. Okay.
This year is the 14th.
Ah, good. So, assuming I don't have another wedding to go to, I will be there.
Yeah,
And able to write the 15th annual Team Technic barbecue. Just run around.
I'm sure like 6 people will get a chuckle out of that.
Well, that's what we're here for. We're just narrowing this down to like 2 people are laughing.
I mean, we do this for us. The rest of y'all are just here for the ride.
Exactly. Just run around. Have you seen Billy? Where's Tyler?
Oh man, yeah. This is shit. Like Zach was like shitting in his Huggies when we were fucking around with Hondas.
Yeah, God.
Not quite.
I mean, you were like 5 or
second grade?
6, yeah.
Yeah, first, second grade, yeah.
Yeah. When I'm having to get out of the fucking Integra that I bought from Eric and hit the one headlight so the HID turns on.
Man, I remember those struggles.
Oof.
Man, you remember when DDM Tuning was a garbage company and now they're like the HID fucking resource?
God, dude.
It's like, you remember Megan Racing used to make shitty catbacks and coilovers for S13s, and now they're like a premier company.
Yeah, now they're something legit. God.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, in 1995 Hyundai versus 2015 Hyundai are two completely different companies.
Yeah. Dude, fucking Godspeed just being like an eBay only brand, and now they're like, oh yeah, like it's a legit brand.
Yeah, exactly. EMUSA actually makes some halfway decent shit.
Yeah. Man.
Like max speeding rods, I'm pretty sure was a joke, and now they actually have like decent forged rods.
Oh man, just as a reminder, Sean Murphy had to learn this lesson the hard way. Just don't put any connecting rods in your fucking badass car that end with a .com. Super strong connecting rods .com connecting rods. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Sounds like a great brand.
One will exit itself through the top of the block.
Probably went through and around many things in the process.
Oh yeah, that was a good hole
Oof.
in that fucking engine.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of airbagged trucks and cars over the years on airbagit.com's
Well,
throwaway
listen.
kit.
God.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's all the shit that could fail was replaced with Firestone equipment anyway, so.
Oh, probably. Man, I just remember like everybody just hating on Rhoda, just be like, "Oh, that shit's gonna fall apart." And it's just like their track record's being set on Rhodas.
It's like, the shitty Taiwanese cast wheel company, but they actually build forged wheels and actually are an OEM supplier in export companies or export countries.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell me all about how I don't have real wheels, bro.
Yeah, tell me how this is garbage. Yeah. You tell me how super strong those fucking rays are gonna be when you're hard parking it.
Well, what's funny to me though is it's all the guys that are saying, "Oh, XXRs and Rotas, you don't have real wheels," and they're driving their mom's Impala on American racing cast garbage made in China.
Yeah. you know, or they're just like lobbing all these bombs while they're still paying for the bank's Acura.
Yeah.
You know, just like, okay, cool, dude.
Yeah, I
I'll
mean,
just be over here.
Yeah, you have a G37S, but how many dollars a month are you giving them out in America for it?
It's like, I've seen some of the mistakes in your past. Your credit can't be that great.
I mean, I know mine's not. That's why I'm not fronting.
Yeah, fuck. It's like, I'll sit here and talk shit, but that's only because I go out there and I see these things. So
Yeah.
I feel this whole position as a photographer really gives
remember-
me an authority to talk shit.
Just remember, your least mid-level fucking import vehicle on Taiwanese wheels and airbags is not a build, bro.
Nah, dude.
Hey. That's true.
Hey, what brand was your rooftop tent, Zach?
I went with a very nice brand.
Yeah.
I was going to go with the Smitty Built brand, which is like the Chinese version of just shit.
Yeah.
And I went with the 23-0, which is a proud Australian brand.
There it is.
Actually a decent one. Not too
Full of spiders and koalas it was.
They're all made in the same fucking factory, but
Chubby dude screaming for Macca's calling you a cunt.
oh yeah.
Man, Simpsons board posting has turned into an Australian ship posting group so gradually. I hardly ever noticed.
I mean, I'll take it as it comes, right?
Fucking A.
How many points of GTA is that? That's like a fucking half extreme stunt bonus.
God, that might have to be a thing that I stream just because I have GTA 3, like the remaster for the PlayStation 4. I might just have to like do that. Full on cheat, by the way. Like, there is no shame in my game.
Yeah. I don't
Fucking
know.
A, dude.
I'm thinking I'm picking up a pretty badass graphics card off of Brian for a super hookup tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Nice.
So I think I am probably going to pick up GTA 5 and maybe do a little bit of streaming. I don't know.
Oh my god, yes. You let me know, and I will come in there and I will get fucking spicy.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna try and
Hell
get
yeah.
into the online gaming and streaming thing. We'll
Hey,
see
man.
what happens. You know, I don't quite have the budget, patience, or time to fuck around with the car thing, at least physically right now. So
Hey,
we
man.
can do it virtually.
There you go, dude.
Definitely
Maybe
want to
we'll-
throw down a bunch on a Seto course. I want to do a bunch of drifting and shit too. So
Well, yeah, dude. Do that. Fucking A. I will highly recommend Xbox Game Pass, which you can get for PC, so you can join us on Thursdays doing some of that shit.
yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
dude.
have to do that.
And
Actually,
Yeah, dude.
I might be joining now that my PC is actually officially set up.
Hey, there we go. I gotta
officially set up.
figure out because I know this Dell, the pod PC that Dave so graciously gave us, that gave its life for the podcast, and it was sitting around as a fucking paperweight for so very long.
Yeah.
No, got this thing running, but I know I can't run it without the side panel on there, so I just got to figure out where I got to put the duct tape because. Oh yeah, dude, this thing gets mighty toasty last night doing the podcast, doing the Low Gear Sendcast with Kit and Glenn and Brandon.
Well, I've got a couple more fans I could donate to that thing, but also I could even potentially give up my my former desktop, my HP Elite desk.
Nah, I think
don't
this.
know. I got all these computers for free like 2.5 years ago from Jake Bergeron, so
Damn, no, I think this thing is just gonna be kind of doing its thing. I'm gonna just figure out where to tape down the button on this. You know, when you pull the side panel off, there's a switch there that has to be closed, or else this thing won't turn on. Just gotta figure out where to. Yeah, just gotta figure out where to do that because and then just let this thing be because it is good enough. It is good enough. It's getting the job done.
I think it's in the top back corner. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
where
it's-
that switch is.
It's somewhere. It's definitely on the top.
Yeah.
So
I mean, really, all you've got to do is cut the two wires going to it and twist them together.
yeah, there we go. Problem solved. Save me on my last roll of duct tape.
Do you know how many cars I have fixed with like no starts because the clutch switch died?
Oh,
I just twist the wires together. Fuck it, cruise control didn't work anyway.
there you go. Oh boy, they're just two of these fucking little like IMSA lights cars just toasted. Fucking hell. This
So
is
I've got a thought for you guys.
okay.
I want your input here. What do you guys think would be like just the most random like race car made out of a commuter car?
Um
Like, do you ever like? Is there a car that you see in traffic on a daily basis, and you're like, in the back of your mind, you're like, if that thing had a flat floor, another 2 feet of over fender, and massive wheel and tire, and some
it could
horsepower, that could be a race car,
it could
or a
be
rally
something.
car or something. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. There are a bunch of random cars that I just see and I'm just like that would be the perfect race car because there is a bajillion of them and they're super disposable so it's not going to be too terribly precious,
Yeah.
you know? But I mean, there are oof.
Yes. Stew on that one for a second. Mine is the most recent. What is it? The Hyundai. Is it the Excel accent? I don't remember. It's the little hatchback. I think it's the accent.
Oh,
The Hyundai accent.
yeah.
I see these little hatchbacks in all these funky little colors every day. Like you see them in like the bright copper orange. You see them like bright lime green, and you got like white ones and gray ones, and you see a couple that are black. Like somebody actually went through the trouble to buy a gloss black Hyundai. I don't know,
Hey man.
but yeah, like I see these little stubby hatchbacks driving around in traffic, and I just keep thinking, man, you know what? If you were up another couple inches on some gravel tires with like WRC mud flaps just swinging in the breeze, like 3 antennas sticking off the roof, and like a whole grill of LED lights.
Dude. So I think that is actually Hyundai's WRC competitor, like some version of that.
Oh, well, then I guess I'm not really surprised.
But no. It's like when I say some version of that, I mean like the so there you can get like the Veloster N TCR car
Oh, yeah, yeah.
in the States. Like that's a real thing you can get. But like every other fun like Hyundai
Hmm.
race car version is based off of something that we just don't get in the States.
Right.
But it's one of
Something
those. It's
that's
like
not North American.
it's close though, kind of like
Yeah.
like a Hilux and a Tacoma. It's just like it's so close though.
It's right there, but it's not quite.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
Yeah, like
yeah.
the old Euro R Accords. They like weren't the same as the US Accord
yeah,
because the
like
US Accord was like just a little bit bigger everywhere just because Americans are fat asses.
yeah, and like we had to wait until we got like the TSX, but it still wasn't quite the same.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just like it was close, but not there.
right.
Yeah. So
Go figure.
yeah, man. So I think, you know,
I like Kit's answer, the Acura Vigor,
the Acura Vigor, that funky ass 5-cylinder thing.
which I had no idea until a couple of weeks ago actually came with an available manual transmission.
Oh yeah,
I did not know you could get a manual trans Vigor in the United States. I knew you could get an export market, but I had never seen one in the U.S. until somebody posted on. It was somebody posted one on an Instagram page I follow. It was a really nice, like, well kept example. It was like in Arizona or something, but it was a
Yeah.
bright red Acura Vigor. It was like a base model. It had like cloth seats in it and shit, and a
Damn.
tape deck, but it had a 5-speed.
huh?
And I'm over here thinking I would love to stuff that entire drivetrain underneath the glass of a CRX.
Oh yeah, like that's always been the dream. I wonder if that dude who owns it, if that's Tyson Huggy.
It's possible, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean that dude has a bunch of clean. He had when he lived up here, he had his 6-speed, like completely factory, like 200,000 mile Legend coupe, second gen Legend coupe.
Ooh. Ooh, which,
Yeah.
I saw one of those on the freeway the other day. They have that unmistakable rear end that's like really chopped.
Oh
It's
yeah,
very flat and sculpted. And
Yeah.
you can really see where the early TL Type S or the early TL in general got its like rear end design from.
oh yeah. So yeah, I mean he's got that. He's got a super clean, like I think rather low mileage NA1 NSX. Like he's got a bunch of like Acuras. Like that was kind of his thing.
Yeah, he's got the up badge,
Yeah,
the quality shit.
yeah, and it's all like super clean, like borderline like factory maintained. You know, like if this was like part of like the Honda Acura Heritage Collection sort of stuff.
It's one of those
you know?
ones that like it still has a Honda brand air filter and oil filter in it.
Yeah,
That kind of
yeah,
shit.
like that's yeah,
Probably runs like Eneos oil in it or something.
yeah, just like whatever the factory calls for, that is what this thing is getting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I dig that.
So
oh yeah,
I do have an answer. It's
Okay.
not the most creative of answers, but something
Okay.
I've actually been thinking about doing since this camping trip, because we went and actually did some proper rally and it was a lot of fun.
yeah,
I've been looking at the first generation turbo legacies
Yeah.
okay,
and turn those into a rally car.
Well, I mean, first gen leggies are definitely ass kickers. I mean, they were a WRC banger for sure. They were it before
was-
the Impreza was it.
yeah, it
Oh, yeah.
was, yeah, it was the first, it was the Turbo Legacy and the Galant VR4 before the Lancer and the Impreza.
Yep.
And so I
Yeah.
think like a turboed wagon, one of those non intercooled turboed wagons would be so much fun.
And the wagons are easier to find. It's
Yeah.
the sedan that everybody is like holding on to and cherishing. Is those
Yeah.
RS sedans were they were tough finds. I don't think they sold very many sedans compared to the wagons, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
no, like
I see those wagons pop up for sale on Facebook and KSL every so often. They're always beat to shit, but like,
oh yeah,
that's
Well, and
kinda
I mean,
would be
you
fine.
don't necessarily have to start with a turbo car either, especially if you're going to be doing some kind of swap.
yeah, just
That said, if you do start with an NA one and you want kind of a head start, I have the entire intake assembly with injectors and an ECU for a Turbo Legacy.
Oh, okay.
So keep that in mind. I have the
I will
cylinder
keep-
heads even too. I mean, that's
Ooh.
not worth much, but
hey man, you got him.
yeah,
I will have to keep you in the back corner on that one.
yeah. I love first gen Legacies. I think they look super cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a guy I follow on Facebook and I think Instagram too. Car Builds by Slade, I think is what he goes by. He did a full like WRC clone style resto build on a first gen Legacy sedan, and like it was the same basic idea as like what Josh Martin did when he was at JDM Legends to like KPGC 10 Skylines.
Oh,
You
yeah?
know, where like you look, it's up on the lift and you see it from underneath, and it's just glossy paint and everything's perfect and shiny and brand new. All the zinc plated hardware, all that kind of shit, right? And it's basically one of those builds. Like he found like fresh, original like Subaru branded glass for it, like
fuck
Damn,
all
that's
kinds of shit. It has
shit.
it has the Japanese air to liquid intercooler on it. Like
Oh,
it got crazy. If I
dude,
remember right, it was either white or bright yellow. I want to say it was bright yellow, but like the look of this car was just out of this world. Like you look at this car and you were thinking you were looking at just an absolute time capsule, and it was built like last year. Just insane the amount of detail he put into it. That's my kind of flavor. I dig
Yeah.
it.
dude. Oh yeah, like that stuff's. Those are always good builds. Like, I mean, it's always nice to see those kind of like time capsule. Like, no, I put a lot of time and effort into this thing for something
Right.
that somebody would, like. For this is a $2,000 car normally, but I put so much time and effort into this thing.
Well, and
You know?
it's what's crazy to consider as well is, back when those cars were actually worth something when they were new, and these factory race teams or these privateer companies would do literally this exact thing to a brand new car. Granted, yeah, you're not replacing like every little nut and bolt and, because it's all new hardware at the time.
Yeah.
You're not having to repaint the car or like scrape off 30 years of junk from the trans tunnel or whatnot. You're not doing that kind of stuff, but you're doing all the same modifications and simplifications. Like he did like a complete like WRC spec like rewire of the car, like all kinds of stuff, suspension work, brake work, all this stuff that they in 1991 would have done for the WRC car.
Damn.
And you just got to think, it's like, yeah, maybe you spent 20 grand doing it, in 2021 dollars, but how much did it cost back in 1991 when the privateer company was doing it, And then
Yeah.
they're just going out to smash these cars up to beat a time.
Yeah, man. Like they were. Yeah, I mean, they. When you talk about a disposable car, like that is what a lot of these race cars are. They're fucking disposable, like up to a certain point.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
I mean, they weld the cage in it, they put all the electronics in it, and they shove a motor in it. They go drive it through some trees. If they hit a couple, okay, whatever. They bang
Yeah.
it back out, and then if the car's not savable before the next race, they dump all of that shit into the next shell. Like,
Yeah, they just rip off whatever they can and throw it in the new one.
yeah. Which, I mean, I can appreciate some of that carryover into the drift world too, but
Yeah.
some people take advantage of that.
Hey, man, it is what it is.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of. We talked about. I can't remember who I talked about this with, but I think it was probably Pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
But we were talking about like, the kind of desirable Hondas, like not the glory year Hondas, but like like the DC5 RSXs and like the EP3 Civics. You know?
kind of the post rad, like the early 2000s, the Litwood or whatever they call
Yeah,
it.
you know,
the
or it
most
was just-
recent technological.
Yeah, and it was like those were. I mean, those don't hold as high in esteem with people of our age, me and you, Dave.
Well, I mean, yeah, they were the new cars that you had to have a lot of money to fuck with.
Yeah,
back when we were
and
doing this.
yeah, we're just like no, give me the $2,000 Integra. I can't afford a $15,000 Civic.
You're right, exactly, because when we were dicking around with our Integras and shit,
Yeah,
an RSX Type S was a $15,000 car.
Yeah, like
a
15,
Civic
20
Si was a $16,000 car.
yeah, like these are very expensive, but I mean, and I know they campaigned like. I want to say they probably did the EP3 Civic Type R as like a BTCC car.
I think they did. I vaguely recall something like that.
Something like that, but I kind of want to see more of like a modern take with like, the big flares on it, like the long wing, kind of like
Yeah.
what they did with the more modern Civic Type R BTCC cars.
Yeah, okay, no,
but
I feel with that.
yeah, but on the egg where you're punching the radio going, up to third and up to fifth.
They had that weird joystick shifter floating in the dash. That was so
Yeah.
strange. I mean,
was-
when you drive one, it makes perfect sense. Like, it feels very intuitive, but when you look at it, you're like, wait, I'm shifting that?
Yeah, it just looks so weird, but it's one of those like I want it, and I also want to put a 6-speed in one because that would be hilarious, and not change the knob.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, R. R is
Yeah.
race gear.
Exactly.
Oh, that's right.
Let me put this thing in race for us, baby.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's This is the kind of
Yeah.
it's the kind of throwback with a car that when we were doing this was expensive, but now it's like hilariously affordable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I walk past EP3s and RSXs in junkyards now, and I
Yeah.
remember when they sold those cars brand new.
Yeah, and it was like
I see 2006 Civic sedans in the junkyard constantly now, and you and I both remember when Tyler Harris bought the first white 4-door SI in
Yeah, I remember.
2006 in Utah.
Yeah, I remember going to fucking Vegas in that thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was a thing. That was a big
Yeah.
deal.
That's
that was probably every bit of a $20,000 car.
Oh yeah,
In
easy.
2006. And now you can get these, 06 SI sedan or an 08 or 09 even. You can get a facelift, maybe even a 2012 or 2013 for sub 8-10 grand right now.
Oh, easily, yeah. But I mean, even those are starting to like tick back up because I think people are realizing like, okay, so it wasn't like it was the lesser of the performance sedans, compared to like an Evo or a WRX, but it was none
Right.
of the headaches of an Evo or a WRX.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like it was the last of the simple cars.
Yeah.
I've said this about BMWs, like the E46 and the E39. They were the last of the simple, like, cars that they built. Like they weren't like there weren't a whole bunch of like assistants or anything like that were very
Yeah.
intrusive to the driving experience. It was still really raw. I see that with the DC5. I see that with the EP3s. I see that even with the FD2s or the FD4s or whatever they call
Whatever it is.
that '06 to '09 whatever Civic.
Yeah.
Like those are technologically advanced enough to have some fancy trickery and IV tech and a K20, but they were still simple enough that you could do all these mods to, and you could still use kind of like the old school ideology and tuning and stuff like that. And I think that's why they're kind of having a little bit of a resurgence, is because they're still simple. They still let you drive them.
Yeah, and it was
they're not electronic override everything.
Yeah, and it was so much easier to cut your teeth on one of those things, like modifying it. Where now it's just like, if you got like an E36, 328 or whatever, it's just like, okay, you could do some stuff to it. But if you got like an E90 328, it's just like, it's a lot the same, but it is so drastically different.
Right. I mean, you're really locked down, and with some of the stuff that's so computer laden, your aftermarket offerings are most of the time going to be decided on what people want to focus on. Like, so a 335, for example, because it's a twin turbo inline six and everybody wants to fuck with that motor, you have everything available for a 335. Whereas you have like maybe an exhaust and some suspension. Well, I mean, suspension's going to be the same, and I guess for the most part, exhaust is going to be the same to a 320 or a 325 or 328. But you're not getting like the engine and transmission tuning side of that. You're not getting the reflashes for that kind of stuff, because nobody's going to buy a 328 expecting to make 335 power out of it.
Like you're getting. I know there are some companies that make like for like 1,000% like off-road only use like base race parts for 328s, because that was a chassis that they were kind of they weirdly pushed as just kind of like the weekend racer thing.
Right.
It's just like, listen, it's cheaper, it's simpler to operate, like it has everything going for it that the 335 doesn't. But again, it's one of those, like, the company wants you to race it, but that's not the one that everybody's going to want to race because it's not the powerful one.
Right, exactly. I mean, you see the same thing with the 1 Series. 128s are great, and you can get a 6-speed manual, 128, where I don't think you can get a manual 135.
I don't think so.
At least in the U.S. that I'm aware of. I don't know. But, like, that's a deciding factor for some people. Some people want to be able to shift the gears themselves, or I know like a 128 is an overall simpler car. It doesn't have half as many computers in it as a 135 does, which doesn't make sense to me, but I mean, that's how it ended up working out.
Yeah.
Well, we hit our time.
Yeah, we are there and then some. So
yes,
we did it, boys. We did it. We rambled on.
We managed to fill.
Yep. Jeremy Hansen about 15 minutes ago booed us. I'm not sure if he was saying boo or boo earns, but
they're
whatever.
Saying boo earns.
Boo earns.
Are you saying boo or boo earns? Then a rain of garbage. Anyway,
I'm Mr. Snubs.
Yes, I am Snrub, and I come from someplace far away. Yes, that's the ticket. I think we should reinvest that money back in the nuclear plant.
Yes.
I like the way this Snrub thinks. Shit, yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, let's land this thing, and then I don't know. I might go to fucking sleep because I did not sleep at all last night. So
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yesterday was not a great day for your boy, but whatever. We got through it. Thanks to Zach and some other people.
You're here, and we love you, and that's what counts.
I'll love you guys too.
You
That's
can't
the other
see
thing.
it, but that's a heart.
Inaccurate pump shape.
I could see it. No, Glenn last night on the Sendcast was just like, he wants to, make it like he wants to make it so normal, where guys are talking about their feelings and being open and honest about these things that it's kind of weird. And I'm just like, I kind of want to go one further. And it's just like, I mean, you two guys in addition to like Trent and all my other friends, like I legitimately love you guys. Like you are, effectively like my brothers. So, yeah, it's just one of those. It's just like like if you love and care about, these people in your life, let them know,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know. So it's one of those things. Just, normalize talking about your feelings and just, checking in on your friends. If you haven't heard from them in a couple days, hey man, how you doing? What's up? You know? Or just be like, I'm having a real rough day. I've been, trying to get real good about putting that shit up there on, Instagram and everything. Then also like, yeah, normalize telling the people that you love and care about that you love and care about them. So,
Oh, yeah. 2021, normalize feelings.
damn right.
We're doing that shit.
Well,
Fucking
Mike,
A.
I love you too. If I wasn't planning to be on the spot here, so I'm trying to think of like emotional, like uplifting. So, yeah,
Just, I mean, you can just keep it with, like love you and all that stuff. That works too. There it is.
I hate both of you assholes equally. I hope you know that translates into I love you guys.
I hate you too,
That-
asshole.
That's one of those. It's just like we can call you an asshole and talk shit,
Yes.
and then but anybody calls you an asshole, it's just talking shit on you. It's just like, hey, he's an asshole, but he's our asshole.
Yeah, exactly. You don't mess
Damn
with our
right.
asshole.
Oh man, a lot of people coming in right at the end.
That's okay. They can rewind this.
It's all right. All right, rain and play is just go ahead, rewind this thing back to the beginning because we're about to end. So
Indeed.
for this episode of Shenanigans,
On that
I have
bombshell.
I've been sober as a bird, Mike.
I've been Zach.
And I've been that Dave guy sucks.
There we go. All right, we'll be back. Be back next Monday, starting at 7:15 p.m. Mountain Time. So figure it out wherever it is you are.
Yes.
All right.
That.
Bye.
Like,
Deuces.